All right, so I kind of woke up in the jazz zone today and playing some kind of interesting, swing type stuff, old school, straight ahead type stuff. And I thought that I would just kind of talk about that, maybe go over a few little recent discoveries or inventions that I kind of came up with. I guess a lot of these are translatable over to an actual kit, but they specifically would seem to work pretty good for the FGDP layout. First thing I'm going to go over is this. So, the basic kind of a swing beat, right? Let's just, make it even more simple. Right? Real simple, cliche kind of a thing. Mixing up your different patterns with the ride cymbal, of course. So it makes it interesting. Also, feathering the kick, alongside it. You could even do some double bass stuff there, kind of mix it up. Kind of reminds me of Roy Haynes for some reason, that kind of stuff. All the triplets and all that. So the feathering is one thing you can do. Kind of maybe drop a note on either drum. Play them in unison, drop a note either way by rocking your wrist. Then there's a thing I saw Dave Weckl doing with the Chick Corea acoustic trio, and that's it's where you're doing that basic thing, 2/4, obviously, and then he's playing like a ton of snare stuff, So I kind of came up with a variation on that. So, you kind of use the snare with your left hand occasionally, dropping it occasionally, and then same over here. Okay, so, and it's like this. You can get real down, like low level with the snare dynamics. And then if you're feeling up to it, you can add your thumb for the bass, and then hit that open hi-hat there to sound super hip, of course, right? It's kind of weird because this reminds me a lot of like if you're playing guitar or piano or something, you're playing block chords. Because you're literally, sometimes playing like 3 notes on one hand, 2 over here, 3 over there. It's kind of weird how that works. Like you're doing harmonizations of chords and things like that. So that's pretty fun. I'll do that again just to shore it up a little bit. Maybe do some improv, you know. And I do that a lot, you know. Dun 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 dun. Just because it's funny and it's cliche and it works. Also, you know, like the Buddy Rich thing, you know, using your hi-hats as your substitution for the ride. And that's a really neat sound, and it's cool. You can kind of do it, you know. But see, there's too many open hi-hat notes there. It kind of starts to get a little bit out of control. So it's kind of good for like breaking out of the pattern, but really you want 2 notes on the closed and 1 on the open. So you could do it sort of like this, but I find just using these 2 pads is better. And you can do 2 on the open as long as you use a light touch, you know. But it works better. All right. So there's another thing. Another thing I've been playing around with is, you know, like the side stick. Obviously, you know, you can do different types of beats with this kind of sounding kit. So like that kind of thing is, you know, you're playing around with all those sextuplet type things. Only, you know, mostly sticking it on the hi-hat or the bass drum or the snare. Then it's not really realistic to use that as much, but you can. Sounds pretty good. What I was also doing along the same lines is like having the side stick go into one of the I guess technically is like a floor tom or something, or like a large medium. And a bunch of triplet patterns, basically, you know, with the occasional, you know, 16th kind of figure, or if we're at a faster tempo, it's like 8th notes, right? Yeah. Maybe throw in like 5 or something, you know. But yeah. Yeah, that's really fun to mess around with. So kind of keep going back to these things where you use your thumb. Kind of an Elvin Jones thing, you know. That's kind of what I was doing in the intro. It's something I kind of I've heard rock players do this, you know, where they try to like imitate a big steam machine or something, you know, like that kind of sound. I think it's kind of cool in a jazz context, though, especially. I actually do that on the album that I just released. It's called Electric Duality. Cover looks, you know, fucking cover looks like this. There's a drum solo, track 7. It's called 102, and I do like that and that steam machine thing in there. So one of the easiest ways to, like, I guess, emulate. So I've also been playing around with some Latin type things. So that's a lot of fun. So I'm sort of playing stuff that starts to use these almost like super triplet things with the side stick clave, you know. It's kind of maybe better to just keep it at first, you know. you can use the thumb to play the toms too. And this kind of plays into the video I did before. I was talking about groove soloing. A lot of Latin percussion, drum set type stuff. It involves, it's like studies in the groove soloing, right? So like learning how to get a groove going and then solo while keeping all or part of it going at the same time. There's a lot of really amazing players that study this stuff and play it all the time. It's more of a stylistic thing for me, just like a diversion of when it's necessary or needed for something, you know. But basically, the simple version of it, of course, is just to you know. But anyway, yeah, back to the jazz thing. It's kind of, I really enjoy hearing when players, like they really have this sense of where the 2 and 4 is, and they maintain it pretty steadily. Like as they're soloing and getting back into with the rest of the band, there's virtually no ambiguity as to where the beat is. Now I know it's kind of hip to play real loose, and and that can be good as well. But I kind of feel like it's more enjoyable for me at this particular moment, or maybe period, to just hear players that really, I keep going back to Roy Haynes. Roy Haynes like really is able to do that, and it still comes off really well, and like there's a few other players too that I'm not going to mention, but and that's really, I think, super important if you're going to do any jazz finger drum soloing, at least at first, is to really have this clear sense of getting on and off, especially, I guess, if it's like, So that kind of a thing, you know, like you're in, you're out, you play some fills that are really in time, and then get right back on the beat. Do a variation on that groove somehow, you know. Try some more polyphonic stuff so that you've got, um, you know, your hats or your rides and the snare and the bass, or even the toms, or some other type of sound like that, or maybe a splash, maybe um, even like your crashes and stuff, you know, thrown in there. Um, I also like, you know, like mixing up, like, if let's say you have like, it's like a call and answer type thing, like call and response. Um, and it, you know, as you're listening to the rest of the band as what they're playing, it might fit perfectly or not, or it might be something useful as like a solo device, right? So anyway, yep, I think that pretty much just about sums it up. I'll leave it at that.